Welcome, music lovers and history buffs. Today we're delving into a fascinating and tragic story, the tale of one of the greatest singers of the 70s and the iconic song that defined an era. This is the true sad story of Venus by Shocking Blue, a song that not only topped the charts, but also carried the highs and lows of a band destined for greatness. Join us as we uncover the journey of this timeless hit and the band behind it. Introduction to the song, Venus and its impact on the music charts. A song called Venus by Shocking Blue was released in 1969, and it would become an everlasting classic in the rock and pop music genres. Not only did this song cause waves, but it also caused a tsunami that swept throughout the music charts in both the 1970s and the 1980s. Because of the flawless combination of catchy melodies, powerful voices, and memorable lyrics, Venus immediately became an instant hit. Because the song had such a significant influence, it has been a mainstay in popular culture for many years. After its release as a single in late 1969, Venus soon became popular and got much attention. By the beginning of 1970, it had climbed to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the United States from its previous position. Because the American music business was notoriously challenging for international acts, this was an impressive accomplishment for a Dutch band. The song achieved popularity in the United States and won the top spot on charts worldwide, including in Canada, France, Italy, and Spain. This song's addictive rhythm and distinctive sound struck a chord with listeners worldwide, which helped drive Shocking Blue to the forefront of international renown. Mythology and romance served as the source of inspiration for the song's lyrics, which guitarist Robbie Van Leeuwen wrote. These words portray a vivid picture of the goddess Venus. Compared to other songs of its era, Venus stood out due to its innovative lyrical substance, which made it memorable when paired with Mariska Vere's distinctive and powerful voice. A distinctive timbre was possessed by Vere's voice, which provided the song with a distinctive edge and a memorable quality that remained in the minds of listeners long after the song had concluded. During the 1980s, Venus went through a period of tremendous musical rebirth. The Dutch disco pop group Stars on 45 included a reworked version of Venus in their medley released in 1981. This was the song that catapulted it back into the spotlight. It was the British female group Bananarama, however, who brought the song back to life in 1986 with their high-energy cover version of the song. The song Venus by Bananarama took the top spot on the charts once more, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the top 10 in a number of other nations, and helped to firmly establish the song's position in the pop culture of the 1980s. Beyond the charts, Venus had a far and broad impact. The song's use in many movies, commercials, and television series has further solidified its position as an icon in popular culture. Several decades after its initial publication, it continues to be utilized and recognized as evidence of its enduring appeal. The fact that Venus reached number 1 on the charts in 2 distinct decades, with 2 different versions, is evidence of the song's enduring allure and widespread popularity. A cultural phenomenon, Venus by Shocking Blue is more than just a song. It is a phenomenon in its own right. The journey that it took from the 1960s to the 1980s and beyond exemplifies its significance in the world of music. As we explore Shocking Blue's history, we will learn about the experiences and occurrences that contributed to the formation of this renowned track and the band responsible for it. Background: formation of Shocking Blue. In 1967, Shocking Blue was established in The Hague, located in the Netherlands. This was a moment when the music scene worldwide was filled with innovative and creative elements. Robbie Van Leeuwen, the band's guitarist, was the driving force behind the band's inception. He had a vision of a band that could combine rock, pop, and psychedelic sounds into something that was both distinctive and compelling. The initial band consisted of Fred de Wilde, the main vocalist, and Klaasje van der Waal, who played bass guitar, and Cor van Beek, who played drums. Van Leeuwen was also a member of the same group. The British invasion and American rock and roll significantly impacted the music scene in the Netherlands during the late 1960s. Shocking Blue endeavored to carve out its place within this dynamic terrain by incorporating elements of both musical movements. They started by performing at smaller venues and bars, gradually gaining a reputation for their high-energy performances and distinctive sound. The early sound of this band was distinguished by a combination of jangly guitars, catchy bass lines, and excellent drumming, with Van Leeuwen's songwriting taking center stage. The band was able to produce and disseminate its songs on a broader scale after signing a contract with the Dutch label Pink Elephant in 1968. This allowed them to expand their musical fan base. Even though their early singles successfully attracted some attention, it was only a significant lineup change that Shocking Blue discovered their authentic voice. After the original lead vocalist of the band, Fred de Wilde, was drafted into the military, the band was left in need of a replacement singer to fill the void left by his departure. Mariska Veres, a singer with a powerful voice and appealing stage presence, was discovered by the band during this period of uncertainty, which turned out to be a stroke of luck for the band. Shocking Blue featured Mariska Veres, a gypsy from Hungary, who added a fresh depth to the band. In a short amount of time, her deep, seductive voice and striking look became the band's signature, distinguishing them from other groups currently performing. The band Shocking Blue was about to embark on a journey that would bring them international renown, and with Veres taking over as their lead vocalist, they were well positioned to achieve even greater success. The establishment of Shocking Blue and the arrival of Mariska Veres were significant occasions that established the groundwork for the band's breakout single, Venus. As we move further, we will investigate how the alteration of the band's lineup resulted in the composition of a song that would become an enduring classic. Member changes, inclusion of Mariska Veres. The mid-1960s was a formative time for the Dutch rock band Shocking Blue, as they experienced significant changes determining their trajectory. Guitarist Robbie Van Leeuwen established the band in 1967, and Fred de Wilde was the lead singer in the early lineup. But Van Leeuwen decided to rethink the group's trajectory when the band's early attempts were largely unnoticed. When Mariska Veres replaced Fred de Wilde as lead singer in 1968, it was a significant change. Veres, who was born in The Hague, Netherlands, on October 1, 1947, had a powerful, distinctive voice and an arresting look. When she joined Shocking Blue, a light bulb went out, giving the band a new vibe and personality. Veres has a diverse and extensive musical background. Influenced by various musical forms including jazz and rock, she began performing as a teenager. Her distinctive singing technique, which distinguished her from her peers, was influenced by her varied upbringing. Her electrifying vocals and energetic stage presence soon became Shocking Blue's signature sound. Under Veres's direction, the band's synergy blossomed. Because of her impressive vocal range and magnetic stage presence, the band was able to branch out into other musical realms and reach a wider audience. As a result of this transition, the band's musical approach was revitalized, and their stage performances were elevated, becoming more captivating and unforgettable. Veres had an instant and deep effect on the band's character. Along with guitarist Van Leeuwen and rhythm section members Cor van Beek and Klaasje van der Waal, her vocals gave the band its unique sound. Their combined efforts resulted in a fresh and marketable sound. With Veres at the helm, Shocking Blue's lineup was complete, and the band started to make waves in the Dutch music industry. The band's breakthrough success was only achieved with her participation. Veres and her bandmates worked in perfect harmony, resulting in a string of legendary singles that catapulted them to worldwide stardom. Rise to fame, creation of Venus. The production of Venus was a watershed moment in Shocking Blue's career, propelling them to stardom on a global scale. The band's talent for fusing rock and pop styles into an engaging and memorable song was fully displayed in this late 1969 release. Inspiration, ingenuity, and painstaking production created Venus, a song that will never go out of style. Robbie Van Leeuwen, who composed Venus, drew from various musical styles. According to rumors, the song's iconic riff was inspired by Pinball Wizard by The Who and The Banjo Song by the Big Three from 1965, which features orchestral arrangements. The skill with which Van Leeuwen wove these elements together indicated his talent as a songwriter. Blaricum, Netherlands' Sound Push Studios was the site of the Venus recording sessions. By fusing rock, pop, and psychedelia, the band hoped to produce a sound that was simultaneously contemporary and classic. The song's allure was largely due to Mariska Veres's strong and seductive singing. Her captivating and authoritative rendition of Venus perfectly encapsulated the meaning of the song's lyrics. Lyrically, Venus portrays a goddess-like character who personifies all things beautiful and desirable, a subject that struck a chord with audiences worldwide. The song became a radio smash due to its memorable chorus and earworm tune. Venus stood out in the late 1960s music scene thanks to its high-quality production, which included noticeable instrumentation and a polished sound. After its release, Venus shot to the top of the charts in several nations. Impressively, for a band from the Netherlands, it peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in February 1970. Like the United States, other countries saw the song's success, including Canada, Australia, and several European countries. Thanks to all the positive feedback, Shocking Blue became a hit worldwide. Their career took a huge leap forward after Venus became a hit. It paved the way for many tours and TV appearances, which greatly expanded their fan base around the world. As a result of the song's success, sales of the album At Home, which included the single Venus, skyrocketed. The song Venus is still often covered and referenced today, and it was a huge hit when it was released. Its evergreen success is a tribute to Shocking Blue's extraordinary skill and the universality of its appeal. The song's superb vocal performance by Mariska Veres, along with its memorable melodies and captivating lyrics, has a way of captivating listeners of all ages. The success of Venus. Venus by Shocking Blue is a story of an unexpected rise to global popularity. Its success is a testimony to that rise. When it was first made available to the public as a single in the latter half of 1969, Venus gained listeners' attention almost immediately due to its catchy rhythm and intriguing lyrics. The melody of The Banjo Song by the Big Three, which was based on Oh Susanna by Stephen Foster, served as the inspiration for the song composed by guitarist Robbie Van Leeuwen. Combined with Mariska Veres' powerful voice, the lyrics written by Van Leeuwen about the goddess Venus resulted in the creation of a distinctive and memorable piece, making it stand out in the competitive music industry of the late 1960s. In the Netherlands, Venus established Shocking Blue as a prominent name in the Dutch music industry. The song reached the top of the charts in the Netherlands, where it was initially released. The performance of the song on the international stage, on the other hand, was the event that genuinely characterized the song's success. Shocking Blue was the first Dutch band to accomplish this accomplishment when their song Venus climbed to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the United States at the beginning of 1970. In addition, the song reached number 1 on the charts in a number of other countries, such as Canada, France, Italy, and Spain, demonstrating the song's widespread popularity. One of the most critical factors contributing to the song's success was its distinctive sound and catchy hook. The lyrics were brought to life by Mariska Veresa's deep and seductive voice, and the song was given a dynamic edge by the frenetic guitar riff and pounding rhythm section. Venus became an appealing success that resonated with listeners worldwide due to the combination of these components. Its success was further supported by the band's promotional efforts, which included appearances on famous television shows and considerable touring, which helped to consolidate their image within the international community. Not only was Venus a monetary success, but it was also a phenomenon in the cultural sphere. The song's influence expanded beyond the charts of the music industry, as it became a favorite at parties and discos and a mainstay on the playlists of radio stations. It was used in various films, commercials, and television shows, exposing the song to new audiences and ensuring that it would continue to be relevant in the future. This contributed to the consolidation of its popularity. The Dutch disco pop group Stars on 45 included a reworked version of Venus in their medley, released in 1981. This was the song that catapulted it back into the spotlight. It was the British female group Bananarama, however, who brought the song back to life in 1986 with their high-energy cover version of the song. The song Venus by Bananarama took the top spot on the charts once more, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and the top 10 in a number of other nations. They gave the song a new wave and dance pop flavor with their cover, which made it appealing to a new generation of music lovers and helped to firmly establish the song's position in the pop culture of the 1980s. The fact that Shocking Blue's song Venus has been so successful is evidence of the enduring appeal of music that has been carefully created. From the 1960s to the 1980s and beyond, it has maintained its allure and appeal to people worldwide. It is a testament to the fact that great music is not bound by the constraints of time or location, that Venus continues to be a well-loved classic that continues to captivate listeners. Subsequent career in decline, other hits and band dissolution. With the phenomenal success of Venus, Shocking Blue was catapulted into the spotlight worldwide, a position that carried with it a variety of opportunities as well as obstacles. Taking advantage of the rapid surge in popularity that they experienced, the band did not waste any time releasing several singles and albums to keep the celebration going. On the other hand, maintaining the same level of success as with Venus was a challenging endeavor. Shocking Blue released a series of singles after the release of Venus, each of which was only moderately successful in terms of commercial success. The year 1969 saw the release of Mighty Joe, one of their post-album singles. It also charted in France and Germany, reaching #10 in the Netherlands. Not only did it perform well globally, but it also did well in the Netherlands. Among the notable singles released in 1970 is Never Marry a Railwayman, which not only topped the charts in the Netherlands, but also became popular in Germany, Japan, and other European countries. Although these previous singles were successful, they could not compete with the worldwide phenomenon Venus. Although the band's style and approach were distinctive, they were quickly overshadowed by other bands who were just beginning to emerge in the vibrant music scene of the early 1970s. Robbie Van Leeuwen, the band's primary songwriter, was under great pressure to create another massive success. As a whole, the group was struggling with a lot of issues. The incessant touring and the pressure to continue releasing new songs had reached a point where the musicians were completely fatigued. After the excitement of their spectacular rise to prominence had worn off, the creative differences between them began to appear, leading to frustration and tiredness. Robbie Van Leeuwen, who served as the band's creative director, discovered that it took a lot of work to maintain the level of inventiveness and consistency that was required to keep the band at the top of the charts. When Shocking Blue released their third album in 1971, the song Blossom Lady was included on the record. This album and its lead song only went well in the Netherlands and a few other European nations, despite the fact that Venus was a blockbuster hit all over the world. The latter albums of the band, such as Attila (1972) and Ham (1973), did not receive positive reviews, which led to a drop in the band's renown. A great number of band members left the band as a result of the numerous pressures and diminishing profits. Robbie Van Leeuwen left the band Shocking Blue in 1974, when the band was ultimately disbanded. Due to the fact that he had been the primary driver behind the band's sound and songs, his leaving came as a terrible surprise to everyone. Without Van Leeuwen, the band's performance was not as strong as it may have been. Mariska Veres and the other members of the band discovered that the magic that had won them renown with Venus had diminished when they attempted to continue their performance. Around the middle of the 1970s, Shocking Blue's fame began to diminish. The band's official dissolution in 1974 marked the conclusion of an era. Although their subsequent albums did not sell as many copies as Venus, Shocking Blue's distinguishable sound and iconic singles left an indelible mark on the music business. The songs Venus and Shocking Blue continued to be played after the band disbanded. In the 1980s, the song saw a renaissance that brought it back to life and confirmed its position as an enduring classic. This was made possible by remixes and cover versions of the song itself. Through her solo performances and occasional reunions with former comrades for special events, Mariska Veres ensured that the Shocking Blue legacy would continue to be passed down to committed followers. From a retrospective perspective, the history of Shocking Blue may be characterized as a roller coaster ride of highs and lows. This roller coaster ride is characterized by the great popularity of Venus and the challenges of maintaining that level of success. Their experience illustrates how convoluted and fleeting the music industry can be. Shocking Blue may have passed away, but the song Venus will continue to be a part of rock and pop music history for all time. Legacy and covers, 1980s revival and continued influence. Particularly with their classic song Venus, Shocking Blue's legacy has been surprisingly resilient throughout the years, securing their position in rock history. One of the most noteworthy times of their comeback was in the 1980s when the song became popular and exposed to a totally fresh generation. The British female trio Bananarama, who covered Venus in 1986, was mostly responsible for the song's 1980s comeback. Their take of Venus gave the original rock song a modern pop-centric vitality. Bananarama's cover achieved #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 quickly with its lively tempo and danceable rhythm. Along with this rendition of Venus, a vivid music video capturing the dynamic and varied attitude of the 1980s helped to confirm its appeal. In addition to highlighting the timeless quality of the song, Bananarama's success with Venus sparked a newfound interest in Shocking Blue. Listeners in the 1980s, much like those in the late 1960s, found the catchy music and powerful words to be equally compelling. This was the case for both generations. In conjunction with this comeback, the past works of Shocking Blue have garnered new interest from fans who have investigated the band's initial catalog and praised their more significant contributions to the field of music performance. Outside Bananarama's cover, Venus has impacted many genres and performers. Many movies, TV shows, and advertising have included the song, guaranteeing its ongoing presence in popular culture. From its inclusion in romantic comedies to its use in advertising campaigns, Venus has become a mainstay of media soundtracks, loved for its energetic and contagious character. Apart from media aspects, Venus has been covered by several musicians over the years, each adding their own twist to the venerable hit. Covering many genres including rock, pop, and even electronic music, these highlight the song's adaptability and general appeal. The song's capacity to be reinterpreted across several musical environments reflects both its basic power of composition and its ongoing legacy. Beyond Venus, Shocking Blue's impact is felt since their innovative rock genre work has motivated innumerable artists. Future musicians trying to challenge the limits of their music may find guidance in the band's creative style of combining rock with aspects of pop and psychedelia. Robbie Van Leeuwen's unique guitar riffs and Mariska Veres's strong vocals have permanently changed the music business, therefore impacting both their contemporaries and the next generation. Furthermore, Shocking Blue's popularity as a non-English-speaking band invading the worldwide scene opened doors for other foreign musicians to flourish in the United States and beyond. Their capacity to cross linguistic and cultural boundaries emphasized the universal language of music and the worldwide popularity of a skillfully written song. All things considered, Bananarama's 1980s comeback of Venus and its ongoing impact on popular culture and other music genres highlight Shocking Blue's significance. Audiences still find great resonance in the band's creative sound, best embodied by their classic hit Venus, which shows that great music really has no expiration date. Trivia and conclusion: pop culture references. Over the years, several songs have borrowed and referenced the famous riff of Venus. It is indeed true. Many songs now have the song's remarkable guitar hook and catchy chorus, therefore highlighting its continuing importance in the music business. One fascinating fact is that Venus did not first appeal greatly in Shocking Blue's native Netherlands. The song got the credit it deserved back home when it became popular elsewhere, especially in the United States. This international praise cemented Shocking Blue's worldwide rock sensation. Regarding pop cultural references, Venus has had quite the trip. Famously heard in the 1995 film The Brady Bunch Movie, the song was used in a memorable moment emphasizing its catchy and cheery character. Many television commercials have also featured Venus, endorsing anything from clothes companies to cosmetics. Its clear melody and vibrant attitude complement ad initiatives trying to grab the audience's attention exactly. Another exciting aspect is that Venus has worldwide appeal, shown by many musicians covering it in languages other than English. By means of these global covers, the song has been able to reach even more listeners, therefore overcoming language borders and connecting music fans all around. By now, it is abundantly evident that Shocking Blue's Venus is much more than just a late 1960s hit song. Through covers, samples, and media appearances, its agelessness and general appeal are evident in pop culture. Whether via Bananarama's 80s comeback or its usage in modern media, Venus remains brilliantly shining and enthralls the next generation of listeners. We hope you enjoyed this look back at one of the greatest songs and bands of the 70s. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. See you the next one.